Hello retro gamers and welcome to another shitty video which I film on my phone because, well, frankly my camera is currently packed away because Brendan of Retro Game On is on the move, I tell ya, and so is his gaming room. And I don't know why I did that in the third person, that's a bit weird. But if you've been watching the channel for a while, you may have seen a video I made about a year ago where I moved my retro gaming room from my parents' house to this house here, which isn't actually my house. It was just part of like a house sitting arrangement, just looking after it. But a year later, or a year and 2 months, I think, I've actually decided to move. I'm moving to my own place and I'm finally getting my own dedicated retro gaming room, which is very, very exciting indeed. So well, maybe I should add that since I made the vlog last time of me moving from my parents' house to here, I should probably make a vlog of me moving from here to a place that's actually mine and a room that is dedicated to it, because as you can kind of see, I've more or less just taken over this room. If we look behind my gaming shelves here, other shelves, secret stuff that is owned by the person who actually owns this house and not me. So yeah, it's very exciting. I move on Saturday. It is currently Thursday. I've been busy packing. Lots and lots of packing, lots and lots of setting up utilities and internet and PO boxes and other fun stuff. Yeah, I've lost my train of thought. There was something I was going to say. Anyway, it doesn't matter. It probably looks a little bit different than how it did in that video if you don't follow my Facebook or Twitter and haven't seen any recent photos. The biggest addition is, by no contest, that big shelf there. I'm pretty sure that wasn't in the last video. I'm pretty sure I only had that shelf, which I went to IKEA and bought at the start of the video and set up. But that quickly filled up, and look, it's only a year ago, and that other big shelf that's a lot bigger than that one has already completely filled up as well. So, we must do something about that. And the other thing you'll notice is that I opted to go back to the CRT TV, because the flat screen, well, it sucked. It sucked for retro gaming. So yeah, it didn't take me very long to switch back. It was pretty soon after the video. I also made a couple of improvements to my LED lighting for the consoles. Before, I just kind of taped it in and it looked really, really janky. But I actually ended up putting in actual clips there that don't look like crap. Not like you can see them anyway, but I built it and I know. So as long as I know, it makes me happy. I feel the handheld's been added since the last video too, I'm pretty sure. And a fat PS2 that actually works. You know how hard it is to find those? All the ones I found have been broken, and I tried to fix 2 of them unsuccessfully, so I have plenty of parts for this working model I found. So thanks, Salvos. It was like 20 bucks. Came with full cups and controllers. Can't complain. Anyway, getting off topic. So, what am I going to do with the new retro room? It won't just be a complete transplant. There will be a couple of changes. So, well, one change is a lot bigger than the other, so I'll start with a smaller change. I plan to buy another one of these bigger shelves and have just 2 of those in the retro room instead of one big one, one small one. That small one will probably go into the living room or the bedroom, or I'm sure I've got plenty of crap to fill it with, so I'm sure I'll find somewhere for it. But the most I don't even know what I was trying to say there. I could say expensive, but it wasn't actually expensive because the item was actually free. But the biggest, most exciting change will be the TV. So this current TV is a Magnavox brand TV, and don't get excited, that's not Magnavox like the 1970s console. Magnavox, I think the branding was just licensed to Kmart. This was a Kmart TV from the early 2000s, so it was a budget TV even when it came out. I have gotten a hold of the Sony Trinitron, which I'm very, very happy about. Even more so because I got it for free. So Retro Game On will be making the big move to component video, where applicable. There we go. First time lucky. So far I've got component cables for PlayStation 2, the Wii, and PSP, surprisingly, but not anything else. So anything that can support component I will be using, except for GameCube because they're expensive as all heck. And also the Dreamcast, I'll be investing in like a little VGA box for that, and that can just plug into the widescreen, I think. Anyway, so that's pretty exciting. Also, the TV is huge, so it's been sitting in my dad's shed for the last, I don't know how long, probably at least 8 or 9 months. So I went in there last night in the darkness. There were lights in the shed, but one of them didn't work, which was the light that was over the TV. But I plugged it in, and while it didn't appear to work at first, I think it was just warming up because it hadn't been turned on in a while. And yeah, I had a nice clear picture. So, and also that thing is heavy as all hell. So I didn't bother moving it into here. It just really wasn't moving. It just really wasn't worth it since I'm only in here temporarily. But since I'm finally going to my own place, yeah, finally, since I'm moving everything else, I'm going to move that at the same time. So, enough jibber jabber. I'm filming this tonight because tonight is the night I'm packing all this up. I'm not sure if I mentioned that yet. So yeah, take one last look at the retro gaming room of choice of me and many others, which is mostly just my girlfriend and my friends. But yeah, anyway, enough jabbering. It's already been 6 minutes in. Let's get to packing. As you can see, all my games have been replaced with a cat. No? Okay. Never mind. Anyway, all my games, all my retro games at least, all three of them, all three of these boxes, I should say, are now full of my games. I don't know what I'm trying to say here. But yeah, you get the point. So there's about, I don't know, 600 odd games in these three boxes. Kind of hard to believe. I guess those two boxes are pretty tall. But yeah, shelves are emptied. Except for a cat. So I should note that I'm also packing up my modding collection as well. So basically I had my PS4 and Xbox 360 over here. They were in the front room, also just transplanted in there with my TV. I also had all my PS3 stuff, like the console itself, the Gen 2 fat model, and all my games. They were still in my childhood bedroom at my parents' house, so they got all packed up last night as well. So yeah, everything's in boxes. Now I just need to pack up the consoles and the accessories in a couple of boxes. Should be noted that most of my retro gaming console boxes were at my parents', and they've now been boxed up as well. So it'd be good to have them all together in one place once I get to the new place. So anyway, this shot started with a cat. Maybe it should end with a cat. No, not interested. Okay, never mind. On to stage 2 of packing all my stuff. Alright, it is sometime later in the evening, and as you can see, it's a cat. But otherwise, besides from the cat, we have lots and lots of empty shelves. Even more empty shelves than before. So, this box is the console and handheld box. I very neatly packaged all the consoles and handhelds using bits of cardboard to separate them, as well as lots and lots of newspaper. I found a few newspapers from 2010, which I used. Basically the top half of this box, newspaper-wise, is all job adverts. Just imagine that, looking in a newspaper and seeing job listings, or jobs at all, for that matter. If you live in Perth, you'll know what I mean. Anyway, this box is the complete opposite of organization. While everything there is nicely packaged and nice, over here it's... maybe we shouldn't talk about this box anymore. Basically, I'm running out of time and I'm starting to panic, so that can all be sorted out once it's at the new place. But for now, I'm just gonna seal up that box and pretend it doesn't exist. So yeah, don't know why everything turned out white. I don't know where that theme came from. Having white furniture is just a really bad idea. Like it's probably not coming up on here, especially when it's blurry. But it's just covered in dust. It's just impossible to keep clean. Oh, so yeah. Side note over. I think I'm gonna call it a night. And there we go. Everything back to the way it was. Reset back to 0. It's like you never could have been able to tell that there was a retro gaming room here to begin with. because there wasn't. This is what it looked like, and I just basically implanted it over the top. So yeah, that has a really nice rug. But otherwise, I'm done. I finished packing. I moved into the house yesterday. I've just come back here just to, pick up some things that I forgot basically. But yeah, that's it for this retro room. Bring on version 3. And here we are of what will be the new retro gaming room, which is, as you can see right now, a complete and utter disorganized mess. Not very functional or practical at all. However, it does have a nice retro themed light fitting, which is very nice, that I think. But yeah, obviously this is not taking priority out of all the rooms in this unit, if you get what I mean. Like, I needed to set up the kitchen and the laundry and the bathroom and the bedroom. Currently I'm setting up the office, and then I'll set up the lounge room, and then finally I will be setting up the retro games room. So while I don't really have much to show you, I can sort of explain how I plan to lay it out. So the big Sony TV, which we successfully got here, luckily. I haven't actually tested it since it's been here, so hopefully the move didn't somehow destroy it, but I doubt it. And I don't know why that is on top. That is nothing to do with the retro gaming room, but whatever. Anyway, so this TV will be going in that corner where the PowerPoint is. I'm not putting it there because the PowerPoint is there, because obviously I could run extension cables if need be, but that seemed like the best spot. So the what am I saying? The Sony TV will go there, and then the cabinet, which is where, it's backwards at the moment, but that's where all the consoles were, as you could probably see previously. That will be going along this wall here. Shelf number 1, which is the bigger shelf of the two that you saw, will be going against this wall here. The smaller shelf has been moved into the lounge room, yet to be unpacked. So I went down to Super Amart on the weekend. I toddled on down and I bought another one of these. It's exactly the same, although I accidentally dropped it trying to load it into my car, so hopefully it's not broken, but I'm sure it's packaged well. I'm sure Super Amart account for that sort of thing. So that shelf will be going against this wall here. Originally, I wanted those two shelves to be back to back next to each other here, but this light switch is in the way, so that's not going to happen. But obviously that's not going to take up that entire wall, so there is the possibility of putting in a smaller shelf here at a later date, because I can't help myself. I keep buying games and I need shelves to put them in. So all the games are in these boxes. 1, 2, 3. Yep, 3. Consoles are there. Got some, what's in this box? Okay, that's the disgrace box full of cables that have all just been thrown in. This is my coffee table, which I found on the side of the road one day. I was using this originally when I had the retro games room at my parents' house, and I sort of left it there and forgot about it. So when I moved, I took the opportunity to grab it again. It's great to put my laptop and beer or coffee or water or whatever I happen to be drinking at the time. And then we just have some odds and ends, and there is a cupboard there, but that may just be a general storage closet for things in the house, because there's not really like a linen cupboard or anything here, unfortunately. But yeah, that's where it's currently at. Not much to look at now. It's pretty damn fugly, actually. So, in due course, there will be a functional room. Stay tuned. Although this is a 2-part video or anything, so yeah, you'll see it in the next jump cut, which will be like probably a couple of days now. A couple of days. Sorry, it's late and I'm tired. A couple of days from now for me. Yeah. So here we are for a bit of a progress update, I guess, of the room being built. For the most part, I've hooked up most of the consoles. However, there's a few cables that aren't quite long enough, that don't quite reach over there, so I'll need to get some extension cables for those, which won't be a problem. But otherwise, everything is going swimmingly. I'm just about to put together the second shelf, which will go on this wall here, while this shelf here has been put into position. Now, there is a big problem though, and it has to do with this TV. So right now it's working fine, which is typical. As soon as I start filming, any sort of problem will seemingly disappear. However, I had this hooked up the other night for the first time and started playing God of War, and it was great. It looks great on Component. Unfortunately, the progressive mode doesn't seem to work for some reason, even though this TV does have progressive mode. So I'm not really sure what the reason is there, but regardless, I was playing the first level, and if you've played God of War before, you know the first boss fight is a big snake thing. I don't know, I've never played it before. So anyway, I was playing through, having a good time, got up to the snake thing, and then suddenly the screen just went black. Not completely black, but all the tones were completely, color tones were like pretty much washed out, but in a black fashion, if that makes any sense. So you can still see the image, but everything was dark. So really the only things I could see were like the, basically the lights, which came up as little dim orange things on the TV, which was really strange because, and all the input signals, all the input channels came up exactly the same way, and even the TV, like if I changed to television, which of course is just static now because there's no antenna plugged in, that also came out completely black. But the on-screen display was fine. See where it says like video 3 or DVD in this case, or say if I bring up this menu, that came up exactly as you're seeing now. It wasn't affected at all. So something really weird is going on. I mean, I want to hope that it was just a one-off and it won't happen again, but that is unlikely. So yeah, I'll keep you in the loop about that because I really want this TV to work. And also obviously the thing is huge, like I've alluded to, basically this whole video. So getting rid of it would be a problem if it's unfixable. So yeah, I'll have to see what I can do about that. Well, here we go. It's finally finished. This, what I think will be quite a long video, has accumulated up until this point, the grand reveal, which doesn't look too different to how it did in the last shot, but I have, ow, just clawed me in the foot. You're lucky you're so cute. Anyway, I have put together this shelf and I have put all the games in it how I like. Same for this one here. So I'll give you a little bit of a close-up tour of those in a moment. Oh, still attacking the foot. Yeah, the consoles are pretty much exactly the same as well. I've just sort of, ouch. I sort of just put all my handhelds and consoles on the top how I like them. So yeah, a little bit of a update on this TV. I did this is filmed, I think about a week later than my last shot, by the way. I've just been super busy. Anyway, I played about 15 minutes of God of War again. I tried to again. Got past that first boss fight, and it was working fine. I thought, hey, maybe the problem's just resolved itself for whatever reason, but no, it hasn't. I'll show you some footage now, which I actually filmed at the time, and you can see that it's not the console that's the problem. I knew that originally anyway because I tried other consoles, but as you can see there, it's capturing fine onto the laptop. And then you see in this shot, I can easily use the on-screen menu. So the actual screen itself appears to be working. It's just, I don't know what the problem is. I'll have to do some research. So if you're watching and happen to know, then know how to fix that, then please let me know. Because I really want to use this TV, and I especially don't want to have to try and get rid of it. Anyway, probably not really much else to say about the room before I take you through the games. This is sort of a pile of stuff, videos I want to make, or videos I have made and don't really know where to put it. And all the cables and consoles have sort of ended up there. They'll probably end up going in the wardrobe when I sort of attempt to make this a bit more tidy. Anyway, we'll start with this shelf first, and as you can see, I've put my boxes on the top. So I guess this would be the more modern cabinet, I guess. So I've got boxes there for the original PS2 and the slimline version, and for some reason I have two DS boxes. Not sure why, but they look kind of nice stacked up on top of each other. So, beginning at the top, we've got all my PS2 games. And then we come down here and we got my Xbox games. Coming down here, we got GameCube with the Wii next to it. And then all the PC games that come in just a standard plastic DVD case. Moving down a little bit more, we have more PC games. Although all these ones either are the smaller cardboard variants or the bigger plastic variants. And then moving down to here, we have the big box games, my favorite personally. Not that these games are my favorite, although there are some pretty awesome games in there, like this one and this one and this one, and they're all pretty good. Anyway, I just like the way they look. Every time I see a big box game, even if it doesn't have the disc, or floppy disk, or whatever in it, I still buy it anyway. Because the discs can always be easily found by themselves online, but the boxes by themselves are a lot more harder to locate. So yeah, every time I find them, I buy them. They're usually pretty cheap as well, from what I've noticed. So moving on to, I guess, the shelf that has the older stuff on it, we've got the PS1 Slimline box, my Famicom box, and then my Game Boy Color box. So here we've got all my PS1 stuff. So that's a good 2.5 rows of stuff there, as well as some Game Gear games all lined up there. And then here we've got Super Nintendo, my humongous Atari ST collection, Genesis or Mega Drive, however you want to say it, some boxed Genesis, there's also a few boxed SNES games, NES, some Game Boys, the rest of my Game Gear games, and then down here we have the rest of my Game Boy games also on that shelf. But here we've got boxed Game Boy Color, DS, Dreamcast. Then down here we've got PSP, N64, Atari 2600, and Lipstar, Master System, more PC games. I own a lot of PC games. And then in the corner here we've just got some Famicom games and then some large floppy disks, which I have nowhere to use, but for some reason I've come across a few of them quite cheap in the last year or so. Anyway, so yeah, that's pretty much it. Obviously I want to try and get the TV working, but hey, this is the brand new Retro Game On Room version 3. So thank you so much for watching. It's always fun to, well, it's not so fun to pull them apart, but it is quite fun to build them again. And since I have a 12-month lease on this unit I'm living in right now, this will be here for at least 12 months and hopefully longer, because I do quite like this unit and it's really cheap, so hopefully I get to stay here for a bit. Anyway, that's it. Thank you so much for watching. Just in case you're wondering, this is the reason why there wasn't a video for like a month. The video I just released on the caveman, that was half filmed in the house I did live in and then half filmed here. And I started filming that like a month ago and then finally finished it off the other day. So yeah, that's the reason why there's been no videos anyway. But yeah, hopefully my upload schedule will be more normal and hopefully I get that fixed. But yeah, that's all for tonight. You're awesome. Go play some Genesis.